Good afternoon. Russ Lambert again, back with you to share another thought or two. And today I'm hoping to also provoke a thought or two. Please stick with me on this, and when it's over, I'd appreciate it if you'd leave your thoughts down in the comments below, because I'm just curious what people's thoughts are about this. Also, I'll ask you to consider subscribing to my channel. Hit that thumbs up button if you would. I still don't understand how it all works together, but apparently it's important, so I'll thank you for it. Anyway, we keep hearing that this is the most important election in history. Now, in reality, the next election is always the most important election in history. But we'll get more into that here in just a minute. First off, before I go any further, I'm giving credit for a lot of what you're going to hear today. I'm giving credit the best way I know how. Because much of what I'm about to say, to go over in this video, came from a friend of mine off her Facebook page, but she agreed with me it'd be okay to share it. So here we go. You say you don't like Donald Trump. I get it. You're not alone. Lots of people don't like Donald Trump. But I'm going to ask, what is it about him that you don't like? Do you dislike the fact that he directed the brokering of the first meaningful Mideast peace deal in decades between Israel, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain? Do you dislike the fact that he oversaw the normalizing of economic relationships between Serbia and Kosovo? Or maybe you think it's a good idea to just have a perpetual state of unrest and hostilities in the Middle East. Next up, do you dislike the fact that he made it a felony to commit cruelty to animals? Do you dislike the fact that he earmarked billions of dollars to stop the opioid crisis? But then again, maybe you think we just all of us should all just get stoned together. President Trump has destroyed, or at least defanged, ISIS. He's killed any number of terrorists, and he's done it without going to war. Or you guess that? America is safer right now from terrorism than it has been in a generation. Or maybe you'd rather live in fear. Does it bother you that we are now energy independent? That we are the largest producer of energy in the world? If that bothers you, maybe you'd prefer that we just keep on shipping boatloads of money over to countries that hate us so that they can use our money to carry out terrorist attacks around the world. Do you dislike President Trump because he started to build a border wall? A wall that's meant to help safeguard our country? A wall that's meant to keep out countless gangs and criminals and drugs? Do you dislike him because he respects and honors and defends our country's borders? Do you dislike him because he slashed drug prices, in some cases by 50%? Do you dislike that he met with the leader of North Korea and avoided a war, but he still managed to bring a halt to their missile testing? What's wrong with that? Would you rather see us in another war in Southeast Asia? But I'll guarantee you this is a war that would not stay in Southeast Asia. Do you dislike that he signed a law ending a gag order so that pharmacists could share with their customers, with their patients, how to save money on prescriptions? Or maybe you like the notion that some of us, or maybe you don't like to, that some of us don't have to make a decision whether to buy our medicine or to buy our supper. What about the Save Our Seas Act that funds millions of dollars per year to clean up garbage out of the ocean? Do you not like the fact that he signed a bill where airports must now provide breastfeeding stations for a nursing mother? He signed the biggest wilderness protection and conservation bill in a decade. 375,000 acres have been protected under this. That makes him the most energy conservation minded president since Teddy Roosevelt. Does it bother you that he puts America first? Personally, that's what I voted for him for. Do you dislike the fact that the ambassador to Germany is an openly gay man? Does that bother you? Do you dislike the fact that he works for free? He don't even make minimum wage. Every dollar of his salary has been donated to various charities since the day he took office. Does that bother you? Does it upset you that his economic policies have produced the lowest unemployment rate ever among the black population? Does it bother you that he worked with Senator Tim Scott to create opportunity zones to help minorities? He passed prison reform, giving people a second chance. Does that bother you? Does it bother you that he produced the lowest unemployment rate ever among Hispanics? Does it bother you that he passed VA reforms to benefit the very people who served our country and defended our freedom? Do the veterans matter? He got rid of NAFTA, replaced it with the new USMCA trade agreement. Even Joe Biden acknowledged this was a good deal. Does that bother you? He loves our flag and embraces a policy of unapologetic patriotism. You got a problem with that? Personally, I love it. Does it bother you when he calls out the media and tries to correct them when they are wrong or call them on it when they lie? He's bringing home troops and ending wars. You like war? He's made a commitment to end child trafficking. I can keep going. Does it bother you that he's making the world pay their fair share to the United Nations? Do you have trouble with the fact that he has respect for law enforcement? He loves our veterans. He supports ICE and all first responders. You got a problem with that? Do you dislike that he does not sell out America to other countries like every single leader prior to him has done? Do you think it's wrong for the President of the United States to make the United States his first priority? He's forced our NATO allies to pay their fair share. Shame on him. He moved our embassy in Israel to Jerusalem, which is the rightful capital. Many presidents prior to Trump promised to do that, but not one of them had the backbone to actually follow through with it. He signed the right to try law. Terminally ill patients now have access to experimental therapies. Does that bother you? I mean, if I'm laying in bed and I know I'm never going to get up again without a miracle, I'd like to be able to try whatever was available. This is hardly a list of everything he's accomplished. There's more, but I hope you get the idea what I'm talking about. Now, folks, I'm not asking you to love President Trump. I don't care if you're his best friend. I don't even care if you like him or not. Now, I'm one of his biggest supporters. I mean, crying out loud, I'm 6 foot tall, 300 pounds. I figure I probably am one of his biggest supporters. But even as a supporter of President Trump, I can acknowledge real quick he is very capable of being rude, of crude, and even worse. He can be mean and he can be overbearing. But he's from New York. I guess it kind of goes with the territory. I'm just saying, give this some thought. If you think on it openly, objectively, and honestly, I think you'll realize he's accomplished more good for America than any president in our lifetime. And what he's done these first 4 years, he's done it all while he was being pursued by a modern day lynch mob that was hell bent on impeachment. I don't know why he does it, to tell you the truth, but I'm glad he does. Anyhow, till next time, be good to one another. God bless you.